What about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know so I can hold you close.
We're seeing they're getting a lot of good recruits, a lot of good transfer portals. They kept their head coach in Steve Sarkisian. There's just one problem. Who's the quarterback right now? Because as we've seen, Arch Manning is getting all the attention right now. He's the golden child. And Quinn Ewers, did exactly what he needed to. Yes, he could have had a better game against Washington, but again, it came down to the last play. And even then, I don't fully blame Quinn Ewers. That secondary was god awful.
Yeah.
But even during the playoffs, Arch Manning's getting all the hype, all the love. He's the media's newest darling right now. It's like y'all know that one meme of the two people sitting in court, and it's like everybody's got the microphone on this one chick, and there's like one microphone by the dude. It's that meme right now, and all the microphones are pointing towards Arch Manning, and it's interesting to me that a starting quarterback has not been confirmed. Because right off the bat, you'd think it'd be Quinn Ewers. I mean, am I the only one here that would think that?
It should be.
No, yeah.
So, I mean, what's happening here? If Quinn Ewers gets it, does Arch Manning transfer?
No.
I don't see. I mean, okay, so Logan, we'll start off with you. If Quinn Ewers wins the starting quarterback position, do you see Arch Manning sitting another year? He was, again, prime media darling, #1 quarterback in his class, 5-star. You know who his family is. You think he's going to sit and wait another year? And vice versa. If he wins, Quinn Ewers is clearly transferring. Where's he going to transfer to then?
I mean, LSU. Now I'm playing. It's
I would not be surprised if that were to happen. By the way, just saying.
Yeah. Damn. This is tough, man.
I'll go ahead and start as well. Who would you rather want right now?
Right now, I'm taking Quinn Ewers. For this season, for the future, I'm taking Arch Manning. Obviously,
I'm just curious. Listen, I know everybody up here would take Quinn Ewers. I am just saying, I feel like that answer would help a little bit with your decision. But go ahead and go on, man.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer this properly. It's such a weird question because if Quinn Ewers were to stay and be the starting quarterback, Arch would probably transfer because we know that situation. But
yeah. Okay. So then again, just going back to we'll stick with it, bit by bit at a time. So let's say it's announced right now, Quinn Ewers is the starter. Are you saying Arch is going to transfer, or is he going to sit and wait another year?
I honestly don't see him waiting another year. Just because the way that whole situation is with him. I mean, he's a man, and he's not just gonna be like, yeah, I'll sit and wait another year, even if it's the best thing for him to do. So he'd probably transfer, and then where he transferred to is even bigger of a discussion. LSU, but it's
not everybody can go to LSU, Logan.
Yes, they can.
No,
not
enough NIL money, Logan.
And then if Arch is the starter, Quinn's gonna transfer. So where could Quinn go? It's very. It's a swinging pendulum. Once it goes one way, it's going to go the other way. So,
yeah. Well, and it's absolutely that was kind of dumb on my part, of like, if Arch wins the job, obviously if Arch wins the job, Quinn Ewers is going to transfer. This is his final year, but like Quinn Ewers specifically stated, he is coming back for another year. He made a whole post to Texans fans, social media, basically stating that he's back for another year. I just don't see Arch Manning sitting and waiting another year, especially when you had all these offers from, big schools, Georgia, Florida, LSU. You were the #1 quarterback in your class. You are a Manning. You are the new media darling. Even as a, third stringer at the time, you were still the media darling. So yeah, it's just, I can't see this man sitting another year. I think he needs to, because I'm going to be real with you. If he transfers, I don't care what school he goes to, unless it's just some low school like Rice or whatever. But, it's going to look rough. It's not going to look good. We all saw how this man was in the spring game. He's not ready. But I don't see this man sitting another year. I do feel like when the transfer portal opens up again, if he is not named the starter, he is going to enter the transfer portal. And foolishly, he's going to be the number one target for a good chunk of schools. And he's going to want to start. He's not going to go to a different school to be a backup. So, it's that's going to be an interesting topic. What if and when that happens? But Efficient, what about you? If he transfers, do you think he will stay at Texas? Or if he doesn't win the starting job, is he staying or is he going?
Man, I don't know. I'm really 50-50 on it. It's some I don't know. They love him in Texas, right? We see it. But I don't think we expected Quinn Ewers to be coming back again.
I think they love him in Texas more than they love Quinn Ewers, which is very ironic.
They really do. And Quinn's done nothing really bad for them. I mean, honestly. So
he brought them back to the
took Texas
playoffs.
Took them to the playoffs, won the Big 12 for the first time since 2009. Like, that's Quinn Ewers for you. That's what that man did for you for that Texas program. So,
and like, he skipped out on his high school senior year too. He was originally at Ohio State, and he said, "No, I'm gonna go to Texas instead."
Yeah. So this will be his fourth year technically in college. So,
and he's still he's still so young because he missed his senior year of high school. Isn't that the first time that's happened? Of a high school student foregoing their senior year to go ahead and commit early.
Maybe a quarterback.
Well, quarterback, maybe, yes. But still, and he wasn't originally to Texas. He was Ohio State. And then said, nah, I'm going to go play for Texas. And again, won you the Big 12. Kept you in the playoff games. Your defense was atrocious. Your secondary was awful. And he still kept you within one play. It was a one-score game. One play, and you would have gone into overtime, and potentially you could have won in an overtime. But I don't see how Quinn Ewers just doesn't get the starting job. I can understand, him coming back definitely threw a wrench in everybody's plans. But if I'm Sarkisian, Ewers is a job, and it's at that point where my main focus is convincing Arch that he has to stay. And I don't think Arch can be convinced to, sit on the bench another year.
Well, it makes it a lot different now because Malik Murphy left. If Malik Murphy's there, because he saw the writing on the walls, he saw exactly how much they love Arch. And then if Quinn stayed again, or even if Quinn
Malik
didn't
Murphy
stay,
made the right decision
Arch
a long
was
time
the
ago
guy.
to transfer.
Yeah, I mean, Arch was going to be the guy whether Malik stayed or not, or Quinn stayed or not. So he kind of saw that. So now it's definitely Arch is a definite number 2. So, I mean, you could have a scenario where Quinn gets injured early in the year and Arch is the guy the whole year. So that's a possibility, and that's got to go through people's heads. But at the same time, how long does Arch want to be a starting quarterback in college? Because if he transfers, how long would it be? Technically, he only have to start 2 years.
Yeah.
But if he wants longer,
he could play 2024, 2025, and then be in the draft immediately.
And so if Quinn comes back again, plays the full year, and then Arch plays for 1 year and goes straight to the draft, you don't, that's kind of,
that's too small of a sample size. But he also has his name to fall back on.
It's true, but 1 year of starting college football quarterback experience it just doesn't cut it. I mean, or Quinn would be gone. It just doesn't cut it for these NFL scouts and these teams, and it shouldn't. So, looking at it like that, I mean, he's not even a COVID guy, is he? So he wouldn't get an extra year of that.
He would have.
He has redshirted, so there's that. But I mean, he could go to a school if he did transfer and be the guy for 3 years.
Yeah,
if he decided
3 years, he could absolutely.
And that would be ideal for him. So,
yeah,
thinking about him and his college career, it is the smarter thing to do, to be honest. But at the same time, you are at one of the best programs in the country with one of the best.
I'm about to say you're already very high rated
coaches too.
Yes, you are at a very high rated program right now. They are one of the better ones. They're just now moving to the SEC. So yes, you're in a tougher division, but still, Texas is just really freaking good. But yeah, and just again, even if it is the 1 year sample size, again, you've got his name to fall back. And we've seen quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson. He got drafted at 4th, and he had the 1 year sample size. And even then, it wasn't a full year. So I don't know. There's a lot of question marks.
Well, that's an intangible type of thing, though. Like, does Arch Manning have intangibles? I don't know. Does he have a super strong arm? I don't.
He's
I
got
haven't
hype,
seen it.
and in today's day and age, apparently all you need is just hype.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he's probably a little bit mobile and he's probably got a decent arm, but I don't think he's got an elite skill set in any type of way. Now we'll see. Like, he might have amazing accuracy and anticipation and can read a defense really well. Like, that's the stuff that we don't know. But
I feel like if he were to beat out Ewers and win the starting job, I feel like that tells us all we need to know of he has improved tremendously in the offseason. And then if he fails, I'm sorry, Steve Sarkisian should be fired immediately. That's just me. If
it's like nepotism.
Yeah. I was gonna say if
nepotism.
Sark goes, I'm going with Ewers, and Quinn's like, all right, I'm out. And then Manning just craps the bed. Steve Sarkisian should just straight up be fired at that point. That's my personal opinion, though. Logan, you got any final words on this one, bud?
I'm tired.